Hi everybody, welcome to the National Scrapbook Day Marathon on Live with Prima. I'm Cari Fennell. Today I'm going to be showing you some cool techniques and ideas with our mixed media craft journal from our Finnebear collection by Anna Dabrowska. And this craft album is so perfect for art journaling. It's also great for doing monthly pages if you like to do like a page a month about what you guys did. It's perfect for weekly journaling or diary or anything you want. Like, the sky's the limit. You guys can do whatever you want with this album. I have my New Zealand shirt on today. I'm representing. Yeah, I'm representing. You know, I just kind of took a shower and got ready and came down and you know, got right to work with Sharon's show. My Scrapbookers Do It on the Table shirt is dirty because I would have worn that, you know. I don't really have that shirt, but I've seen it. I've seen it. Those are golf balls in the back. Yes. My husband is a big golfer, and he collects them everywhere he has played. My shirt says New Zealand, and this is the leaf for the All Blacks. All Blacks is their rugby team. They were champions a couple years ago. It was it's really awesome to go there. You guys should go there if you ever get a chance. Hello. Okay, so I can't talk too much. I got to get this show started. Hopefully Jamie will show up soon. Oh, is she here? Is my girl Jamie? Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and pan down, and we're gonna talk about the album. I'm gonna talk about what I'm using, and get this show on the road. Scooby Dobson, thanks for coming. Welcome. I've seen a lot of newcomers today, first timers, and thank you for joining us and spending your day with us. I hope that you. Oh, it's Melissa from Cornwall. Okay. Hey, Melissa. I just taught in Cornwall, Ontario a couple weekends ago. So anyway, this is the craft journal we're doing. We're doing the cover today, and my plan is for June, we are going to do some inside pages. So this is a part 1 class, and then I'm going to do some inside pages for you guys in June. So be on the lookout for that announcement, and then we'll craft inside some more and do some fun techniques. Okay, this is the craft journal, the mixed media journal by Anna Dabrowska that we're going to be using today. It's pretty much a blank slate, ready to go. I'm just going to rip off the belly band and show you guys. There's a little elastic closure with a handle. Inside the book, you have an envelope on the inside cover. Hold on, let me get some more light on this. There, hopefully that's a little bit better. And then you have 12 cream-colored cardstock pages. You have 2 clear insert pages, and then you have 12 of the craft cardstock pages as well. So there are a ton of pages inside this book to play with. And there's envelopes on the inside front cover, and there's an envelope on the inside of the back cover. Now what I did for this book is you're going to take this back cover, okay, and bring it around to the front. And this is going to expose where the spirals connect right here. And all I'm going to do is just gently is the key word, pull them apart so that I could take this album apart to do the cover. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Just for the cover. Once you get your cover done, then you can do the back cover and front cover, and then put these back on and then work on your pages inside. Okay, so this is great because your book comes apart and it's very, very easy to put back together. Sharon's texting me, make sure I'm okay. She's at a graduation and she's checking in on me. She's such a mom. I love her. Okay, this is easy to take apart, I swear. I'm just struggling with it a little bit. Here we go. I see where it's caught up. So basically what you do when you go to take it apart, here's the front, right? You're going to flip the back cover all the way to the front, and that's where it's going to be exposed for the spirals. Okay, we're going to set everything else aside for now and get right to work on this cover. Now, I need to grab my stencil. Oh, it's already disappeared. How about that? Well, let me see if I can grab it over here. Ah, here it is. It's our 6x6 chevron grunge. Now, Sharon used the 12x12 chevron grunge for the last project, and I'm using the 6x6. I think sometimes the smaller ones are easier to use on this, and you might think that the handle's going to get in the way, but I actually just kind of slip the handle like that through the stencil. Now, when I use a stencil like this, I sometimes like to use like a bulldog clip or a metal clip just to hold it in place as I put on my molding paste. I'm going to use a light molding paste by Golden. They also have light molding paste by Liquitex, so they both work great. I love Golden. It goes on very, very smoothly, and it can take all kinds of art mediums. Light is nice to use on paper products because it won't weigh down your projects, and it stays nice and light, so you can, you know, it doesn't weigh it down. It doesn't really matter though. Okay, so I am literally just putting some of this on a palette knife, and I'm just scraping it right onto the album. Notice I didn't prime it because I really want the craft to show through, because it's going to make an interesting color in my background. Okay, for the paints and stuff I'm going to add. But you look at it, you can just spread it on, and if you don't have a palette knife, just use an old hotel key card or a gift card. You know, I guess you could use a credit card if you've used up all your limits. You used your limit and you don't care. Okay, so now I'm going to gently lift that off. And you see, I'm just doing it in spots because the front of this album I've kind of covered right in this area, so it's not really that important that I don't cover the whole thing. All right, I'm going to clip this back on so it doesn't move while I add my molding paste. And it's good to take that spiral off. As you can see, you guys, if the spiral was here, it would be hard to lay my stencil flat. If you're not going to be doing something like this, you know, on the cover of your book, there's really no need to remove it, I suppose, if you're worried about that. All right. So pretty easy. And what's great about this is this is going to add a little bit of dimension. I am just going to put this off to the side for a second. Excuse me. Because I don't have time to wash it, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay. In between the shows, I'll soak it a little bit. Okay, I got a little bit on the edge. I can just take that off. If you get any in the holes, let it dry, and then you can poke it through with like a sharp craft knife or something. No worries. Okay. And I'm going to just kind of set this aside to dry. I can heat zap it with my heat gun, but I have other things I wanted to kind of go over with while this dries anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So you can get a feel for how it's going to look. Very basic, very easy. It's supposed to look grungy, not perfect. Look, I even got some molding paste over here. Who cares? Okay, that's what's great about this project. There's no perfectness. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you, Prima has come out with some resist canvas pieces, and this happens to be our pack of florals. And I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do. There's 33 pieces in this one pack. And it is 554736. And you can't see on camera, but there are little there's a little design on each one. I know it's hard to see, but when you add your art medium to it, which I'm going to add the Distress Stain Peeled Paint, this is going to come to life. And the Distress Stain has an applicator right on the top. It's a liquid ink. It's really easy to use. And you can go back and take a paper towel, dab off a little excess if you don't want all of that, and you can see that it is now a polka dotted flower. So the resist is the white part, so the rest is canvas, and it soaks in your art medium. Pretty cool, huh? And I use these, actually. I cut these flowers apart for my cover and use them as leaves. So that's why I'm painting them green. So you can use them for different things, not just as a flower. You can use it as foliage in the background of your cluster or, you know, what you're putting together. Okay. Now I didn't have to prime this, but you can. You can prime it with a little bit of water to take in, like if you were to spray an ink on instead of directly applicating it like I am, you can spray a little bit of water and then spray like an ink on it, and that will take it, it'll help the art medium soak into the canvas. Let's see, I think I'll do one more. So obviously this is the polka dot set. We also have this in script. We have it with some with little hearts on them. And I'll hold these up. So some of the polka dots are a little closer together and some than others. All right, and there's no adhesive on the back. It's just a paper backing. And the paper backing really allows the canvas piece itself to stay together when you add water and art mediums and something like that. Did you know as you add to fabric and you manipulate it, sometimes it'll start to fall apart? Well, the paper backing on these will keep it together for you perfectly. All right, so now we can let these dry a little bit, but again, I'm going to cut these apart and use them as leaves. And I only needed a few, but you can do as many as you want. You have 33 pieces in one cute little pack. Okay, next I wanted to show you something really cool. This is Prima canvas tape. And you can see that it kind of curls up on itself because it comes in a roll and it looks like this. All right, and it's just plain, and it's made of fabric, and it does have stickiness on the back. There is a paper backing for this as well, and you can peel it off, and it is sticky just like that. What's great is you can stamp on this, you can ink it, color it, do whatever you like. So it comes on the roll, and I'm just going to demonstrate real quick. I know I painted some of it ahead of time with the light blue acrylic paint. I'm just going to stretch this out. And all I did is I took a little paintbrush and my water mister, and I just gave it a light spray, just like so. And I just went direct with a light blue paint. The paint that I'm using is called Azure Sky by Folk Art. Oh, I'm saying that right. Wait a minute, let me just check the bottle. Ah, Sky Blue. Sky Blue by Folk Art. It's just a simple acrylic blue paint. So you can really use any brand or color that you prefer. It's really up to you. It's not really anything, you know, special, except that it's just paint. So all I did was apply it just like that. Dabbed off some of the extra moisture. Okay, and I just used it as plain little banner strips, but I will show you. I think I have like little word stamp here. I'll just show you really quickly. You can stamp on it, and the fabric is so tightly knit and close together that even a dainty little stamp like this, you can really see it. So it's kind of cool, right? And I use Distress ink, and Distress ink is certainly not like a very, it's made to look grungy. It's not a crisp, you know, ink like a Versa is, or Brilliance, or something that's really made to be like that. So even a Distress ink like that works great on it. Now I've given myself about a little over a foot, probably like a foot and a half, and it's painted and it's dried. And what I decided to do was to make some cute little banners on my cover. And what I'm doing now is taking the Distress ink and just applying it direct to the dried paint. And you can see it's grunging it up really, really well. Because we want it to look kind of dirty. Yeah. So this cotton tape, like I said, it's sticky. You can use it as like making your own kind of washi tape. You can use this for binding things too. I think that's another great idea. Oh no, and I got some some gesso on my thing. All right. So you can see that I've just kind of grunged it up a little bit with some of the ink. If you get too much brown ink on it and you don't like it, you still have just a little bit of time to go back with like a paper towel or something and just remove it if you don't like it. But to be honest, it won't matter. It's still going to look great, grungy and all. All right, so right now I'm just prepping all of my little embellishments that are going to go on the cover, and I'm just kind of sharing with you some unique products that we offer at Prima. This is the roll that the canvas tape comes on too, and it's nice and thick. It's like a thick cardboard. Save this because you can dip this into paint and just stamp rings on your projects, like dip it in a little paint or ink and just put a couple of those on there. I will show you how to use it. It's pretty easy. Okay, so another cool thing, don't throw away your stuff because this can be reused or recycled later. All right, moving on. I have these gorgeous filigree metal flowers from the Sunrise Sunset collection. Now we offer probably 4 or 5 different varieties and packs of these flowers, including some gears and things that look like the inside of a watch, and also some washers like this. So you can grab a variety of all these little bits and pieces and nuggets and open them right up. And I'm going to just grab what I already have open if that's okay. Again, the Vintage Mechanicals Sunrise Sunset collection. And I actually have a bunch already open, so I'm just going to pull a couple out. Okay, just like this. Now, for me, they're all different colors. So there's some silver, there's some gold, there's some bronze. And what I wanted to do was really kind of make the butterscotch color in this project stand out. So I grabbed some heavy body acrylic paint by Liquitex. And this is called Yellow Oxide. Now, what I love about this is that once it was dry on my embellishments, it will not come off. It's like an enamel. And I squirted a little bit of that onto a little plate. And I just grabbed my paintbrush again, like kind of a smaller one, because as you can see in some of these metal flowers, there's a lot of detail and beauty and dimension. So you need kind of a nice thin brush just to kind of get in there and get in between those petals and start painting away. Okay, this doesn't have to be perfect, and if you really want the color to be really bold and not look like not have some of the metal come through, like the metal tone, I mean, add two layers of paint. Let it dry and then go back and add another layer. My husband saw me doing this morning. He's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "You're painting tiny flowers?" I said, Of course I am. You have to. Okay, so when all is said and done, you've added 2 coats of paint. This is how it's going to look. Let's see if I can get some light on that. Get it a little bit better. Okay, and I've gotten in all the details, and can you believe it? It looks so pretty painted. It makes it look even more vintage and something you would find in costume jewelry, you know, once upon a time. And I did a handful of these different shapes and pieces to mix all together from those different packages I showed you before. Even a gear. Oh. Okay, and this is all added with like I said, 2 layers of paint, just to get all of it covered evenly if you care about that. All right, so pretty easy. Use a high quality paint to cover the metal. Use a variety, all different sizes, shapes, gears, that sort of thing to prop and get ready. You know, even this one that's kind of silver, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of silver and it's got a lot of detail, and I love that. I can go right ahead and paint that too, because this is really pretty. So don't be just, you know, don't worry about the different tones and different colors, and you want everything to match, like all in one pack. You can make it match, or you may not care. You can cover the metals with alcohol ink. your Copic markers, Pinata inks if that's what you have, or just plain old paint. Let's see. And it's done. And that looks so cool painted. All right, so I'm going to set these aside because I'm getting paint all over my hands and all over my work surface. Yes, the look of the paint I think kind of makes it look more vintage and older. I don't know. That's just me. All right. So how is my molding paste coming along? I'm checking my album, and it's already set in that short amount of time, so we're doing really well with that. We're doing really, really well. And next, I want to show you, Prima has these adorable little banners. These are mini canvas banners with eyelets already in them. And you can buy them plain, or you can buy them with the script on them. And for the album cover, I just used 3. And you get 10 in this one pack. And these are really, really fun and cute to add to any project. So, see? Just a little guy just like that. And I took 3, and I misted them with just a little bit of water. You don't want to oversaturate these, because sometimes if you manipulate this canvas a little too much, what happens is that it starts to fray and the eyelets could come out, so you have to be very careful. I'm grabbing a little bit of that light blue paint that I used on this strip here, and I'm going to take some of the paint off on the side, and I'm just going to gently give it a little coat of paint. And I'm doing it this way because I still want the script to show through. My goal is to have the two-tone look and not cover up the design that's already there. Hold on. I gotta pause for a baby wipe moment because I have yellow, green paint coming off onto my blue banners, and I don't want that. So very, very tiny bit of paint, a little bit of water, and you're literally just kind of whitewashing the canvas banner. Now, I want to mention too, like I'm picking butterscotch and deep green, some reds. What's great about this album, if you guys want to recreate it, you can use any color combination that you want, because all of this stuff is something you color yourself, and therefore you can make any color combination you like. I love going to Pinterest and picking up color combos, like, you know, they have those on there all the time on Pinterest, if you've seen. And I started a color board on Pinterest, and it gives me like great ideas for combining all sorts of shades and tones together for a really beautiful look. So sometimes that helps. And to be honest, when I started doing this, what I did, I'll show you guys. This is one piece of paper from the Sunrise Sunset collection. And this one is called Aura. So it has kind of like a textured background. It already looks grungy and everything. But I don't know if you've ever noticed, but on the very bottom of our Prima strips, you can see the exact colors that will match this line. So you can pull colors from your papers that you want to work with to, you know, pull everything together and to do all of your own embellishments with. And I don't know if you've ever noticed that or seen that. You probably have. You guys are very smart. And even if you didn't see it, it's not because you're not smart, it's because we always cut this off and throw it away, right? We don't really pay attention. We want this. But that's what that's there for, just to give you some color guidance, so to speak, for your projects. Okay, the next thing I wanted to show you are these epoxy stickers. I know they look all jumbled, but shiny and cool in the package. There's 36 of these stickers in one pack. And there are 3 sheets of little bubble epoxy stickers. And that's what they look like. They look like beads of water. And Jamie showed how you can paint over them the other day on her show, on our Live with Prima show last week on Tuesday. And what's cool is that you can use this for jewelry making, adding dimension to your projects, altered art, whatever you want. The sky is the limit. And for my project, what I actually decided to do was take this piece of Sunrise Sunset paper You can see kind of like it's creamy and white, and it's got like a dark edge. The other side has a ton of like really cool old postcard cutouts and lacy pieces and things like that. This is called White Hot. Okay, and so what I did is I actually used some of the pieces from this paper. I used this library card up here, and I just cut that out. But then I had leftover paper. So here's like a small sheet, leftover paper. And I took the stickers and put them right on the paper, whatever I wanted to show. Just stuck them down like that, because they're sticky. I don't know if I mentioned that. And I cut these out just to make my own bubble embellishments. Now what's really cool too, you could put these stickers down over a photograph if you really wanted to like make cute little accent embellishments on your pages or in your mini books, and put it over someone's cute little face like you would for a locket, and cut it out and use it as a little accent. You can have like a little accent of bubbles. All right, and these epoxy stickers are very easy to punch through, punch little holes through, or add little dimensions. So see, so now I have kind of like a cool new little stone looking bubble, just like that. And so I cut out several of these just ahead of time so that you guys didn't have to sit here and watch me cut them all out. But I just made a whole group of them to add as accents. See? And even after you cut out a bunch of these, you're still going to have a ton left over for another project, and because there's 36 of these that come in one pack together, so you're certainly not going to use them all in one project. But I love these, and I used them in my grouping, which I will show you how to do in just a second. I'm just going to set this aside. And again, these have a shiny top, so these could also take alcohol inks, paints, any kind of art medium that you choose. And that's another embellishment idea. So I swear, all of this is going to come together beautifully. You have to trust me. Okay, next. Let's see, what is next? I think we could go back to our cover. How about that, you guys? Because I think we've gotten some of the art medium type, you know, things pulled together here, and we can set everything aside to get ready. And this is pretty good. I'm going to give it a little zap because I am going to be adding a lot of paint and stuff to it, so I want to make sure that it's dry. Thank you, Paula. The number for the epoxy stickers, it's 960414, and it shows you the different sizes on the back, and it's from the Sunrise Sunset collection. So if you Google or look up Prima Sunrise Sunset epoxy, you'll find them. Okay, so I think it's all ready. I think I'm going to do this right side up for me, you guys. I hope you don't mind, just because I have to work like this, and sometimes it's a little easier when I'm painting and doing things, and it won't really matter because it's just paint. Okay, so I have my little paint palette ready. I have a tan paint. I used a paint called Linen by Folk Art. It's kind of a tan creamy color. Linen. And then again, my Sky Blue by Folk Art, both acrylic paints. Then I also pulled out my Liquitex Soft Body. It's this crimson. I just pulled a different kind out because of the color, not for any other reason. It could be Folk Art, it doesn't really matter. But this is a really bold, beautiful red. And then, of course, you saw the yellow oxide that I used as well from Liquitex. All right. So I just wanted to show you that. And now the finger painting begins. Yes, we're going to be finger painting. And I like to finger paint because it gives me a little bit more control over what I'm going to do. Now you're going to add this red and it's going to be like, yikes! Seriously, Cari? Yeah, you'd never guess that it was this bold when I started out, right? And you can use your paintbrushes if you want to. You don't have to use your fingers. I know, I just like to, because I like to get into those little grooves and really work this into the chipboard, and it's kind of messy. And I like getting messy. So, you know, late at night when you're crafting and you go to do this and you don't have any brushes because you've ruined them all, yeah, just use your fingers, right? And what I also like too is that by doing this, I'm really moving the paint around. So I'm actually getting a lot more, oh, of course my computer screen goes black again, sorry. I have to be able to see what I'm doing and read the chat. So, you know when your computer goes into sleep mode and you're like, oh no. Yes, that's what it did. So I'm not evenly coating this. I'm just kind of putting this on in a messy way, in a messy manner. And I don't really care if everything is even. Okay, and I certainly don't care about the center because I am going to be covering that up with all of my pretty embellishments that I just made. Okay, all right. I'm going to wipey myself. Have a wipey handy so that you can clean off your fingers. And paper towel. Or, you know, a rag or something. Now the key is to dry in between the layers of paint. If you don't dry in between the layers, what happens is, when it's wet, your colors blend a little bit too much, and then it becomes mud. This allows me to layer, add a little. If I don't like what I did, I can cover it up. Almost there. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not coming back off on my fingers. I know you can't tell because they're really messy. But now I'm going to take my fingers and go into the butterscotch color, the yellow oxide. And what I love about this is that I can kind of add paint a little bit here, a little bit there, just touching down in areas and using my fingers to kind of move it around. Okay. And you can see it's starting to take shape pretty well. And I'm just going to skim, and it's literally like dry brushing, but still painting. Sometimes I like to just touch down on the edges and make it look kind of messy. I don't know, you could use a brush for this. I just feel like I have a little bit more control with my fingers. Okay, so you can kind of see. Wow, it looks like a real mess. You're going to have to trust me on this, though. I promise you it's going to look amazing. Well, I hope it looks amazing. I don't know. It's up to you to decide that. It's your opinion. Okay. I'm going to dry this again, because like I said, we have to dry in between the layers. Yes, Karen, the surface is chipboard. It's a very thick chipboard, you can see. Yeah, it's very, very sturdy. I don't know if you can tell. So this album is going to be able to take quite a bit of a beating. Okay, that's good. So yes, it's very thick, very sturdy. It does not bend if I try to put pressure on it. it's not going to bend. It's not going to go anywhere. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this sky blue. Pretty. Pretty, pretty. I don't even know where, oh, there it is. I was going to say, I don't even know where my original went. I've just long abandoned it. And this I'm just adding a little bit. Like, I don't need a ton. It's just for accent. Okay. So you just want a little bit here, a little bit there. Kind of messy, kind of pretty. Add a little bit up here around my edge. I love using my fingers. This is so fun. And then you can kind of sit back, look at it, and say, maybe it might need a little bit more here. I don't know, maybe a little bit more here. But you're not completely covering up the layers of paint that you've already added either. So look at it. It looks nice and messy, right? And I'm really concentrating on the outside edges because, like I said, most of my embellishments are going to go right in the middle. Pretty easy so far. And again, dry again. If I hadn't dried, all of these colors would be muddled together and look like mud, literally. Because I'm mixing cools and warms. When you mix cool and warm, it equals brown. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go in here and really kind of rub some more paint under that handle. Sorry my heat gun's so loud. It's not nice and quiet like my Ranger one, but my Milwaukee heat gun is made to, you know, unfreeze pipes, and it heats fast. So, and I kind of need to keep going with this class, so I hope that's okay. I apologize for the noise. All right, now I'm going to dip my finger just into a little bit. Actually, you know what? I think I might switch to a brush at this point. Because now what I want to do is I want to dry brush some of this tan colored or cream colored or linen colored paint that I grabbed. And I'm taking some of it off on the side, and I'm literally just going to dry brush over. This is going to help tone it down. And it's not meant to completely cover what I've already done. Okay, because I don't want to do that. I guess I could use my fingers to really kind of get it in there. And now we can really see the shape of our stencil to kind of come to life, right? It's very gentle, a very little bit. So we can still see all of those beautiful tones coming through that we've added. But we're just toning it down. Toning those down. That red can be pretty intense, right? And it's okay if you're a little more heavy-handed in some areas than others. I'm going to get under that handle real good. If you get a little paint on your handle, don't worry. If you take a little wipey and wipe it off, it'll be fine. So now I'm going to show it to you. Now you can really see that stenciled pattern come through, right? And this all looks graffitied, and you can see all those beautiful colors coming through. Really, really easy, and it was just a little bit of acrylic paint. That's it. All right, so I hope that that sounded and is easy for you. It's fun to get messy with your fingers and paint along. I'm getting like finger paint prints everywhere. All right, I'm really happy with the way that this looks. You can, if you get a blotch of paint that you absolutely hate, just go over it again with your original color and then start again in that area. But just don't forget to dry in between layers. And you are going to achieve the look and the colors that you want. That's what's great about paint. And like Karen asked me before, this cover is very, very thick, and it can take a lot of layering. All right. So now the next thing that I did to start to build up my layers, I actually took one of, you guys are going to laugh, I actually took one of the cream colored papers out of the album because I don't think I'm going to use all 24. But I love these edges here. And all I did was take it out and, sorry, I'm throwing stuff on the floor as I talk to you guys. So I ripped it out, or took it out nice and gently, and I went to about the 4-inch mark right here on my Fiskars trimmer. Cut off a strip. I'll save this and use it for something later. And then I cut this baby into a couple pieces. I just want a couple pieces for layering for my front cover. Just like that. Okay? Now, here you can see I actually did rip it out of the book. I kind of like it ripped. I think you should rip it out before you take the book apart, or just rip it yourself. And I'm going to add a little bit of vintage photo distress ink around the edges. My beautiful book's up here on the side. You can look at it. And just kind of give the edges of the paper a little bit of brown ink. I love vintage photo distress ink. It's one of my favorite browns in the whole world. I also love the walnut stain. The walnut stain would also work really well for this. Frayed burlap would be good. Something of that sort that you happen to have in your stash. Okay, and I'm doing this really, really messy. I don't care. Okay, and I love those little curly bits. So I'm looking at this piece of paper. Is it too big? Is it going to cover up too much? I don't think so. But, you know, that's up to you. You can make this piece smaller, bigger, whatever you want. It's just a couple little square pieces going down right in the middle. And I love to build up layers in the center of my books or on my scrapbook layouts to add dimension and interest and make it really, really pretty. Okay, I'm going to butt it up. I'm going to allow the glue to dry, and then once it's dry, you can go back up and just kind of peel up and curl up these edges and make it look really pretty. Oh gosh, that looks perfect. Okay? Like I said, you can make these squares much smaller if you had your heart set on showing more of your beautiful art and painting on the cover. That's totally fine. All right, next. I have those pretty little strips, right, that I made. And what I'm going to do is just cut these into different lengths. So, and I cut 4 of these all together. So I certainly do not need this whole strip that I colored, but it's always good to have extra, and I can use leftover on the inside of my book. And I'm going to cut a little banner. So I'm folding this strip in half, and you see where the corners meet together. That's where you're going to put your scissors and just cut an indentation or a little notch. And then you have a little banner strip. And I cut about 4 of these at different lengths. You don't even really need very long pieces. Just going to sort of trim off some strips. One of these I could probably actually, I think I could cut in half and use 2 pieces of it. Okay, so cute little banner strips. This one, maybe the one I want to start with. And I'm just having them kind of come down just underneath my paper. Yeah, see, I don't even need it that long. And remember I told you there's adhesive on the back of this tape? Just peel it right off and it's ready to stick. All right, and I'm going to lift up the edge of that paper. Just start putting my little strips down. And these little strips you can layer. Oh. Yeah, the problem is that they're going to be a little crooked, but that's okay. That's all right. It's my book. I can do that. Sticking to my scissors. So these end up only being about 2.5 inches long. Like I said, you can use them longer or shorter. Okay. And when you're gluing these down, you can overlap them. We have some shorter, some longer. I'll show you guys exactly how they're going to look in just a second. I know it's hard to see. It's just hard to glue these little stinkers down with it upside down. Then it will for sure be upside down. Yeah, and the thing is I can still lift up the edge of this paper because I used a liquid glue. So it's still, I'm still able to lift up a little bit. See, I'm just kind of putting them under that paper and just having them come down. And you know what, I think for this one, 3 is good. I think that's all I need. In my original book, I added 4, like there's another one right here, but I don't really know that you need it. I can always go back in and add it later. It does not matter one bit. All right. Next, I'm going to layer another piece of paper on top. Do you remember that piece of paper I used to put the epoxy stickers on? This one here called White Hot. It has all of our cutouts on one side, and then it has a plain back on the other. Yeah, this is what I'm going to use, and I'm just going to trim it off, and I cut this piece. I'm going to give you the measurement right now. I cut it from the top corner, and it's about 4 inches wide, and I cut it about to 5 inches, and then I tore off the bottom. It's just basically a scrap piece of paper that you're just going to add. Okay, and if I think that it's too long, I can just go back in and trim that off even more. So it's not perfect, but I'm just building up layers. That's all I'm doing, and I love to do that. You can use foam tape if you want. You could Frankify it. Use some foam tape. Rock it out like Frank does with foam tape. Or you can just use it as is. Next, I use just a standard shipping tag. I got this at like an office supply store. Ranger makes these. There's die cuts for these. You can find them all over the place. All right, and all I did was ink this up really good. It's just a manila tag. And you know what I found too, you guys? If you have like manila folders laying around, like from filing cabinets and things, you can cut out your own tag from those too. If you didn't have any on hand, that's another idea. And before I glue this down, you know, on my original book, I just kind of stamped a couple, it says Be True. It's from my Donna Downey Unity stamp collection. And I just stamped it a couple times, kind of freestyle. And I have a couple more. This one says, Be Bold. So grab a date stamp or any little stamp you have with like little words and just kind of messy stamp it a few times and have them overlap or look a certain way. This one says, Be Bold. Pretty cool. Any little words you want. I love her little Unity stamp sets because there's always cool like little phrases she puts on there, and I love that. That's all I did. I just inked the edge of this tag, stamped a couple times at the top, and I'm going to layer this right here in the middle of my cluster. Just like that. So far so good. I swear to you it's going to take shape. It's going to look really good when I'm done. Okay. Now going back to that paper I just showed you, White Hot. I cut out this little library card right here. You could cut out any of these people. These are relatives of Anna's. I asked her. I'm like, do your relatives mind that you're using their photos on your papers? And she's like, yeah, no, they don't mind. Just kidding. I did ask her that, though. They are her old, distant cousins, apparently. When she designed the paper, she used some old photographs she had in her stash. Kind of cool, huh? So, of course, I have to ask, you know, is that your grandparents or your great-grandparents? You know, it's just kind of neat to find out, like, where they come from, you know, things like that on papers. So I'm just inking this guy up a little bit, and he's going to be the next layer I add. Why am I calling it a he? It's just, it doesn't need to be a he, it could be a she. Just like that. Yeah, sometimes you just, it's fun to ask people like where they get their ideas from or, you know, how they design stuff. And with Anna, you know, she has relatives that in Poland that, you know, and all the family photos. Okay, so then I just put that over that. Next. So I'm just layering. This is all I'm doing. I'm building up this middle layer. And once all this wet glue dries, I'm going to be able to go back and just curl up all these pieces and have some fun with it. Okay, next I grabbed just, let's see if I can remember where I put them. I have some like little mini photos from leftover projects that I haven't used. And so for this project, I used a picture of my feet. I'm kind of dangling in my garden with my shoes. You can see my feet. So I thought for this one, I'm not going to do that again. So pick out, like this one has our home address and my stone wall in the front of my house. And I can easily use this too, which I think would be kind of cool. So I'm going to trim this photo up and take all that white off the outside. So this could be a book about our home. You know, show a lot of little details. I know I love to look through my parents' photo albums and say, oh my gosh, I remember that ugly shag rug we had. Or I remember that time my mom painted the bathroom lime green. Yeah, she really did. She really did. I'm not joking. What happened was my father was colorblind, and he got greens and browns mixed up all the time. My mom said, I would like a tan color for the bathroom, like a brown. And he went and picked it out, and it was actually lime green. And I said, Mom, why did you go ahead and paint the bathroom that color? And she said, I didn't want to hurt his feelings. That's so funny. So we had I mean, when the bathroom door was open, it was into the hallway, and you could see lime green, like, glow shining on the hallway door. It was just crazy. People came over and they're like, whoa, that is a bright bathroom right there. All right, so I'm getting my little photo. I had inked up the edges. And now my son Jack is colorblind as well. But his isn't as severe. Like his is blues and purples. He can't differentiate. And he's actually gotten in trouble at school for it because the teachers didn't know that he was. Yeah, kind of crazy. But, all right. So all I'm doing is taking some twine. Now the twine comes on a roll, and it's usually already curled up into kind of a circle, as you can see. So what I did is I'm taking a couple of these circles and putting them together, and I'm just going to staple the ends. You can glue the ends. I got my little tiny attacher right here. Just kind of circle the ends together just like that. Let's see if I can get a piece of paper to show you so you can see it better. See that? Just a couple rings of twine. I connected it all with my stapler, and I'm just going to kind of layer that over my house number, because I think that looks kind of cool. And right where I stapled it is where I'm going to add some glue. And the staple part I'll end up hiding behind flowers, of course. There we go. And so it won't show. It looks just like that so far. Okay, so it's coming together. It's getting there. We're just layering. We haven't even added a lot of the pretty stuff yet, but we're going to do that right now. We're going to do that right now. So all the stuff that we've kind of prepared with glue and everything. What time is it? I just want to make sure I'm doing okay. Oh yeah, I'm doing okay. I still got another half hour, and we're going to finish decorating this baby. Prima came out with these flowers. They're called Au Naturel B. And it's 562656, and it's a variety of 4 flowers in cream colors. And I actually just used these flowers cream. Like, I didn't bother to color them because I really kind of liked that they were this pretty shade of cream. This particular flower here is made of fabric. All right, and I'm going to glue that right down here. And I'll probably move it down a little bit. Just leave it as is. All right. And then I'm going to take one of those gears. What did I do with those? One of the gears from this pack here that I did not paint. Doesn't matter which one. There's a variety of them that you can use. And I'm going to make my own flower center for this au naturel flower. I'm going to grab this little one here. It looks like kind of like a wagon wheel. I don't know if you can see it. It's got like little spindles. I'm going to put that in the center of my flower. So the key is here is to layer, use different things to add interest. Metals, wood, fabric. All of this stuff can come together and look amazing. Now, I also have some page pebbles here. These are, let's see, what's the number? 541545. And there's, what they are is they're not epoxy, they're actually acrylic. The difference is these are not soft, like the epoxy stickers I showed you before. These are actually hard. And they come with bling and all different little scripties. Just kind of generic, but fun. And I'm just going to pull one of these right off. They are sticky on the back, but I'm going to add more glue because I like to add my fabric tack because that means it's never going to come off. I'm going to add it right to the center of that little wagon wheel. And I've made my own little flower center. And it's dimensional and pretty. Done. All right, put these away. I'm just kind of throwing things on the floor when I'm done with them because that's just how I have to do it to make room. You should see this. It's carnage. You can't see off camera. It's a mess. Okay, let's see. I also have, here's my other little flowers. I also have these little pretties too. And these are called Sarah flowers. And they're actually like, if you can hear, they're like crepe paper. And they're really detailed. You get 6, and all the centers in them are different. And again, for these, I left them just plain. But these take on a color mist or a spray really, really well. And I'm going to start mixing that in with one of my painted metal flowers and just start building up this cluster. And what I also want to do is take those resist canvas flowers that I've so lovingly colored and cut them apart. Because like I said before, you're going to make foliage from this. So you cut apart the petals and suddenly they could become really pretty like little leaves. And we're just going to tuck these in around the flowers. Oh yeah, the Prima blog is, if you go to the Prima blog today, we have an amazing blog hop going on. And everybody, we had a bunch of our design team members and educators and Live with Prima instructors all participate. And you start off at the Prima blog. It's called prima.typepad.com. And that's the very beginning part of the blog hop. And it takes you through to everyone's blog links. And you can go around and get all kinds of inspiration today if you need a little bit. And help you get your mojo going. Just kind of fun, and there's prizes. Some people offered prizes on their blogs. Some people offered videos, tutorials. You get just a nice mix. Okay, so I'm just kind of chatting away, moving along here, and you can see that it's starting to come together. All right, those little leaves you can tuck in even more. All right. My little epoxy sticker is moving around. Let's see. Oh, I painted one of the gears, and I'm going to add a little bit of yellow down here as well. Kind of get that yellow going. I really want that yellow to stand out. Love mojos too, and mojitas. Haha, I know it's pronounced mojitas. Actually, I don't drink those. But I hear they're good. I'm just not, I don't think I've ever tried one. All right, so I've got that little gear down there. And, oh, next are little epoxy stickers that we put pieces of paper behind. We can start dotting those around the cover too. Well, I'm going to put one in down here. I want a couple just kind of coming out underneath stuff here. If you don't mind, I got to move this a little closer to myself so I can see what the heck I'm doing. All right, and actually I can lift up that gear and have it just over it. and do one of my little mini epoxy stickers. Have that coming down right there. All right, now there's also Prima lace that I used, and it's called Allen Con lace. And let's see if I can use the back of this packaging. I don't know if you can see it, but this lace here has little clusters of embroidered like flowers. If I move my fingers out of the way, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I just need to hold it up to the camera. Just like that. See that little lace with like little mini flowers on it? It's not behaving for me right now. Hold on, let me stretch and pull it. You can stretch and pull lace. So you see that? So I actually cut these apart. I cut the little flowers out because some people look at this lace and say, how would I use this? I love cutting those little flowers out and tucking these into my clusters. And I could color them. Sure. I could color them, but I'm not going to. Okay, and just add those little guys in there. Let's see, I'll cut another one out. Isn't that a cool idea? Like, just sometimes, you know, you look at a lace and you think of borders or like adding as a strip of lace to something. And this kind of lace, like, you just wouldn't look at and say, well, it's not going to look, it's going to look funny as a border. Well, it is. Well, maybe not, but it looks even better as little tiny crocheted flowers sticking out of your clusters. Here, I'm going to move it right here. Okay, so I'm going to show you an up close just to see how it's kind of looking, taking shape. Oh, let's see. And some of these vintage mechanicals too, there's like little, cute little bling circles and things, little tiny bits in these packs. You really get a lot. I'm going to add one of these little circles to the middle of that gear. And just have it centered like that. And then I'm going to take one of my, Prima has these really, really pretty, hold on a second, if I can find it. Oh, it's right here underneath the other one. They have these really pretty faceted crystals. And these Satan crystals, you get 50 in one pack, and I think they retail about $2 US retail. And they just pluck off, and there's adhesive on the back. So what I'm going to do is start taking some of those off and dotting those around. Like I'm going to put it in the middle of that little circle piece there. And I'm also, this one I'm going to add glue to because it's going on a metal flower. I'm going to try to stick it in the middle of that flower. Aha! Sometimes you have to wedge it down in, and you can use like a brush or something just to really poke it down in there. So that's, see that? So you can start making that blue come to life. And let's see, I have another little yellow flower I might just stick up here too. I'm having so much fun decorating. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just sitting here playing around with metal and flowers, and I hope that that's good for you as well. I think for this one I'm going to add a little pink one. But these little crystals are so pretty, and they're perfect to add to the center of things and bring out another color that you want in all the stuff you do. And I like sometimes just kind of sticking them down randomly, just kind of polka dotting everywhere. That's kind of fun. It's not just kind of fun, it's really fun. How about that? See? So you're just kind of dotting those around. It's really starting to take shape. Oh, and I can grab another one of those epoxy stickers too, like another little one, and kind of tuck it up here if I want. That's what's great about what Prima makes. We make such a variety of things, and they all work really well together. So put wood items in here, put your acrylic stickers in here, put your bejeweled gems, whatever you like. Okay, and you can just tuck things in, keep going, keep having fun with it. It's awesome. All right, I think I'm going to move up to this corner here, and I'm going to use another one of those flowers, those little crepe paper flowers. Let's see. I'm going to use this one here. And this has kind of like a brown center in it, and I don't really want that. And you know what? It comes right off. You know, if you play with our flowers enough, you know that you can take your flowers apart and get 2 out of 1. Yeah, you can. And I'm going to put that up here. And I'm going to put another little, I opened this box of gears here, and I'm going to pull out another one and put that in the center of my flower instead of the little brown piece I took out. Okay. I'm going to add a little crystal. Get that going. I'm going to cut apart another one of my little flowers, my resist canvas flowers. And I can actually take this one little flower and cut it into a few different pieces and add it as greenery up here on the top. I don't know. I just like leaves. I like to add leaves, but it's really exciting and kind of fun when you discover something else entirely different that you could use for foliage or for greenery. And oh, and I have this piece left over from the bigger flower I cut apart earlier from this piece here. I can kind of tuck that in. So it's just another unique way to use something you have. You can color it any green color you want to match what you're doing. That's the fun of it. All right, I'm going to add, I haven't heard from Jamie. I hope she's doing okay. I know she had to get up kind of early to mod for me. And I got to tell you, I just have to say thank you, Jamie. You rock, and we appreciate it. And Jamie's class is up next. She's got 2 classes in a row, that sweet thing. She's got a beautiful garden journal that she's going to do. And she also has a beautiful like spring summery kind of layout using the Hello Pastel collection. Funky, fun, just so Jamie. It's so Jamie style. Support groups are great. You know, sometimes if we don't have people around us that scrapbook, you know, you can always find great communities online. And the Live with Prima group is always amazing and welcoming. And I always do my best, too, to welcome new people, but also, you know, love to see our familiar friends. But we're, you know, this group is just an amazing bunch of women and men that craft and love it just as much as we do. I'm pretty proud of the community that we have on Live with Prima. Everybody has a lot of fun. You know, we share tips and techniques and ideas and food, and sometimes dog stories. Sometimes, and we always talk about our children. It's just really cool. It all just kind of comes around. We all share the same passions and you know, our own families and our own situations, and it's pretty cool. Okay, so I just added some more of my painted metal flowers up here with a couple more of the epoxy pieces. My flower, little washer in the center. And you know what I think too? I'm going to add another piece of these epoxy stickers. I'm going to take this gold bling ring. Gold bling ring. It has a nice ring to it. Nice little. And another little hard sticker piece. I'm going to put that right in the middle of it. Okay, just like that. Cool? Hey, as long as you guys are happy, you know, and you have to tell me. You have to tell me what you want to see, what you want to do. All the time. Always feel free to email me. Tell me. We have a Live with Prima group page on Facebook. You're welcome to join. If you go onto Facebook, search Live with Prima, and just send in a request to join the group, and I'll approve you and get you in there, and you can share your projects, you can ask questions, you can see shows. We post all kinds of information on there. It's great. So I encourage you to join if you haven't already. And then if you guys go to the Prima blog today, we have our Prima blog hop, and there's prizes on Facebook as well There are prizes all throughout the blog hop. Some of the girls were very generous and decided to post their own giveaways, which I think is cool. Now, you remember the little banners that we colored? I'm going to go to those now, and what I want to do, they're nice and dry. And if you can believe it, I've lost one already. No, really, I have. I know. You know what? It'll show up. It's probably on the floor or something. I don't know. But I'll work it out. So what I did is I took a piece of twine, okay, and I ran it through the eyelets in these little banners. So I'm going to go front to back. 20 minutes. Thank you, Jamie. We're rocking this. We're rocking this. You know, I had a lot of coffee this morning. Can you tell? I'm going to need a lot more throughout the day, too. Yes, because I just want to stay up all day and chat with you guys and just... I can't believe I can't find that third one. I'm just so mad. Hold on, I'm just going to look for it real quick. Oh, here it is. Yay! I used 3 altogether. It was hiding behind my heat gun. I knew I'd find it. So I'm stringing these together first. Oh yeah, that one's come off. Okay. So I've got them all strung together. And I'm not even going to fuss with the twine or anything yet, because what I'd like to do is glue them down individually first. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the back of that banner and place them where I want them. Just kind of stringing along up here. I know I'm adding a lot of stuff. If you guys don't, you know, you're not crazy about adding a lot, just add a little. Just do your own thing. I'm kind of went crazy with all these fun embellishments and I didn't stop. Okay, I'm just going to hold them down a little bit here. And I'm making sure that I'm not covering, you know, the holes where the spiral binding has to go back in, because that would be sad. Okay, so I'm going to leave that alone and let it dry. But I'm going to show it to you guys first. So it's just kind of swinging around over there. Actually, I can probably move this one a little bit closer to this one. That's what I love about my glue, is I can still have time to work it, get it just the way I want it. All right, now I'm going to just leave it for a second. I'm going to set this whole thing aside because the next thing I want to do is get out my Resist Canvas alphabets. Have you heard of our Resist Canvas alphabets? They are in a beautiful font, and they come in wood green, they come in script, and this one happens, oh, and a chevron, and this one happens to be like a little bit of a diagonal shape. So I'm going to pull those out. I love the size of these. And I think, I'm going to decide what word I want. I think I want the word, us. Us? Yeah, why not? I'm going to add a little bit of water to the letter that I want to use. So I got a little U here, a little S there. And I'm going to dip my paintbrush back into that yellow oxide, that really pretty yellow color. Oh, my brush is a little hard and dry. That stinks. And I'm just going to add a little bit of that paint and pick up some of that water. Because again, I don't want to cover up the pretty design on this Resist canvas. Now, it is sticky on the back, but sometimes the more moisture you add to these things as you go, sometimes that stickiness gets a little bit unsticky. So I'm just gonna bring that up to the camera so you can see. See, so the paint, watered down paint works good too, not just an ink or ink spray. And look at the pretty like diagonal design that came through. You know, and what I do too to test different art mediums, sometimes I'll like test on a letter I know I'll never use, like Q. Like I'll grab a Q. I know Jamie uses Qs. I don't use a Q, so sometimes I'll test a color to see if it's just right, or see if I like the way that it looks. I see that came off. So love the size of this alphabet. So down here, I'm just going to put the word us. Cute. Cool. How is Jamie doing? Is she getting you guys all set? I know she's probably linking like crazy and going like crazy. You know, sometimes as we're modding the chats, you know, if we miss a question, please feel free to ask it again, because sometimes the chat's going so fast we don't even, we miss some, and I don't want anyone to go, anyone's questions to go unanswered. And I know Jamie's that way. We're all that way. Like, we really want you guys to ask us whatever you need to ask. Okay, so there's the word us. Very cute. Actually, put this more so on the photo. I'm going to move it up. Sorry. Us. I got a little bit of glue down there, but that doesn't, who cares? There we go. There we go. You can see the front of my house on there. So it's really taking shape. What is the number for the alphas? Oh, yeah. Silly me. The number for the alphas is 564094. 464094. And you get 104 pieces. 104 pieces in the alphabet. And look at the packaging. This is awesome. You can cut this out. You can use this as a background for a layout. Look at this beautiful black lacy border. Yeah, just cut that out and use it for a layout. How awesome is that? Prima thinks of everything. We try to think of everything that we can reuse over and over again. Yeah, they really do. Okay, so that's pretty much all decorated. Do you guys want me to, thank you. You're going to try that today? Awesome. Awesome. Just pick a, you know, a variety of colors that you want to work with and really make it all pop. Do you guys want me to show you how to put the book back together? Thank you. Nope. Sharon, it's 564094. 564094 is the alphabet. Yes, you want, yes? Okay. Let's get it done. And remember, you can do all of the same colors and techniques on the back cover. And if you guys were unsure about this whole deal starting on the cover, do it on the practice on the back first. And then once you're happy with it and you feel comfortable with it, then do the front cover. You know, that way, you know, you're pretty comfortable with what you're doing. I'm not saying that you wouldn't be anyway. What is the number for the alphas? Oh, I already read that. Okay, so now we're going to do back cover to front cover, right? And actually, all the pages should be, have all the pages lined up with the front. I'm going to go ahead and, where'd my, oh, there. Go ahead and slide those back in right now. So start by putting the spirals into the cover. Okay, turn it upside down. Get your pages back in. You know, you may want to mix and match like some of the craft and some of the cream. But just for time's sake today, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it back together as it came. So, I'm adding the cream colored pages back. There we go. And then there's the two clear. And I'm just going to do that. Just twist them around. Oh gosh, can you even see? There we go. When you add the clear ones back in, make sure that the top of the page is in the correct position, because these are pockets. So you want the pocket at the top, the opening at the top. You'll know what I mean when you do it. Okay, then, so we're literally working from the very front of the book to the back of the book. Okay, just sliding all that back in place. Okay. I think I did that right. Okay. So, yeah, I did that wrong. No, did I? No, it's fine. No, it's totally fine. Okay, I'm just psyching myself out. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this back cover back on. Make sure your handle is on the correct side with everything you've got. So you've got your little thingy here. Close up the book. And then I'm just going to clamp it shut. I'm going to keep the opening on the outside so that I can keep taking my book apart and take pages out and work on them and put them back in. It's really not a big deal. Or you can just leave it together. You don't have to put it back. Leave it as is. And there you have it. See, that was pretty easy. I know everyone's scared of taking things apart, but really, you don't have to be scared. I'm going to tie this little end here. How are we doing on time, Jamie? 12:21. Rockin'. Hope I didn't go too fast. I'm trying to get a lot of information in here and get this book made. And, you know, this is the kind of book that I would teach for a class at a store, you know, or on a Prima tour or something of that sort. Because this is, I like to pack the kits full of Prima goodness and stuff, and I just go a little crazy. But like I said, you can use all the techniques that I showed you today and make your book a lot simpler. Now I have just some ribbon bits. This is actually a wide, 1.5 inch wide ribbon by May Arts, striped. I have this striped ribbon in every color that they make. And I'm just going to simply put it on this cover here. And I'm just going to make a cute little, bow. Oh, and I didn't bring down my good scissors for cutting ribbon. Crud. Wait, let's see. Oh, my Tim scissors are back here. Use my little Tim scissors. I swear I have a pair of these in every room in the house. I think I've got about 4 pair. Because I just keep buying them. Because they're so great. I told you, my guys in the house, they steal them. Because they like them because of the big handle for their big hands. Well, I have big hands too, but they love them. I also have this really pretty little brown lacy bit. This was also May Arts. I collect ribbon. Just so you know, I collect Prima and ribbon. And so just grab something lacy or pretty or feminine, and I'm just going to tie the knot over my other knot and just make like a little grouping of fun little bits, just like that. And then I can even finish it off with my twine. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know how I could possibly lose a whole thing of twine, but I did. Oh well. That's all right. So you can add a little bit of twine to this bow. It doesn't matter. You can add little danglies off of here, whatever you like. So there it is. There you have it, folks. Here's the original. So look at that. Wow. It looks similar. All right. So what do you guys think? Awesome? Send that one to you. You guys are so sweet. Yeah, just try the techniques. You know, you can try this on a book. You can try this on a layout. You can try it on anything you want. Anything you want. Just have fun and practice, too. Awesome. Now, the next show coming up in a half an hour We're going to take another half-hour break. Oh, actually, Jamie, are you there? Jamie, I would like to know if you could, she hates when I do this. Jamie, I'd like to know if you could pick a prize winner from the chat for today. Let's do it. Let's pick a winner. I'll get in trouble, but I'll just tell my boss I forgot. No, I'm just kidding. She knows I'm gonna pick them. Would you, Jamie? Thank you. And send them my email address. We'll do a little giveaway. And send you some stuff. Yes, all of the classes are recorded today. So if you miss parts of it or you want to go back and rewatch it again, every step that I did, everything that I made because you were distracted by the chat or you came in late, it's all going to be right here on the same Ustream page. And all you have to do is click at the top of the chat box, click the video tab, and that will have a list of all of the classes that are recorded and that we've done. Oh gosh, my face looks like it's in slow motion right now. You guys are going crazy on the chat. Oh, Amy Herlin is on. And oh, I'm breaking up. Oh no. Okay. I think it's the chat. I think the chat went crazy, so I was freezing up. Okay. You guys are so funny. They're seeing my face freeze up. Okay, so next class in a half hour is going to be Jamie. She's going to be doing a gorgeous garden book. So tune in or hang out in the chat while we switch from teacher to teacher, okay? And I will be back on the chat to moderate with you guys and answer more questions. Thank you so much for joining us during this marathon of shows. I can't thank you enough, and I love all of you for it. Thank you. Okay. See you in a little bit.